What's up, Kingdom family? Welcome back to the Keys to the Kingdom, where we drop all the keys to the kingdom. Dr. G is in the building. If you are new to the royal family, come on and hit that subscribe button because we're kings and queens, actively living out our purposes, full of positive vibes, changing lives, and loving on the Lord. Right? This is the place to be. You do not want to miss the messages that come through on my channel. Shout out to my faithful family, always in the building, holding it down in the comments. I love y'all so very much. And I'm blessed to share this journey with you all. Okay, listen, baby, we're just talking tonight, okay? This is Dr. G counselor hat coming on, and we're going to be speaking about the video that I've been promising y'all, parenting styles, attachment styles, and how we show up in relationships, okay, due to our upbringing. So basically, I'm going to first cover the parenting styles, then I'll cover dysfunctional family roles that children often fall into due to how they were raised, and then we'll end with some attachment styles, okay? Some patterns you might see in relationships. So you might want to get a notebook, a pen, pause the video and take some notes on this, okay? Or play it back because listen, baby, it's going to be some good juicy information in here, and you'll be able to look at yourself and see like, well, why do I show up in relationships this way, right? Or maybe that's what my ex was talking about. I need to get it in order, okay? Or maybe this is why Jesus has had me on this healing journey, okay? So I can learn how to do a few things a little bit better, right? So here we go, my loves. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Especially if you are new to the royal family, let us know where you're from so we can welcome you. You're catching us on a teachable moment. Don't worry about it. We love you anyway, okay? Here we go. The first type of parenting style, okay, my loves, is called, and this is in no particular order, so I don't know why I'm numbering it, but it says permissive. So this parent is like, think about a statement, whatever you want, you can have whatever you want. That means that the child is in control. This parent has low expectations of their child, okay? So that means very few rules. This child can do whatever they want, say whatever they want. The child can be very indulgent, right? Like they get to play as often as they would like to play. They get to eat whatever they want to eat, whenever they want to eat it. And again, they get to just do whatever they want to do, okay? Like it's all game with this type of parent, all right? This parent is very accepting of their child. And now there's nothing wrong with accepting your child, of course, but accepting meaning everything, like the good, the bad, the nasty attitude, okay, the cursing back at the parent. Like this parent is just like, oh, let me cater to my child, okay? This parent is very lenient. They tend to avoid confrontation, and they can have a very warm approach to their child. And so this parent themselves, right, how do they become this type of parent that just gives their child everything that they want? You have to think back to how they were raised. Maybe they either grew up in a very strict environment where they was like, oh, this is too much, pressure. This was too much order, too much structure. And like with my child, I'm just gonna get them everything they want. They could do whatever they want to do. They could say whatever they want to say because I didn't have this lifestyle, right? And so sometimes parents like to overcompensate, and so they like to give their child the things that they did not have, right? Which is not necessarily the best thing, okay? Because we can, again, just let our child have too much, be too loose, okay? And we don't want our kids to not be disciplined by any means, all right? So that's a permissive parent, okay? Some other traits of a permissive parenting style is, again, this is child driven. The child basically makes the rules. The child is basically bossing the parent around. I had a child that I used to work with at one point, and it was time for cleanup basically, right? So as a play therapist, I teach my students, like, we either clean up together or they know that it's a certain time where we in session early and then it's time for them to clean, right? So this was just leisure activity. It was me just overseeing, right? Like I assess before I actually work with somebody. So it was like a consultation period. And the child looked at the parent after they had all of their toys out, and I was instructing them like, hey, it's time to clean up or whatever. The child looked at the parent and said, mommy, You do it. And the mother was like starting to do it. And I was like, let the baby do it, right? Let the child do it. And the mother was feeling like, but no, we get along so well, and I don't want her to feel like she has to pick up her toys and all these other things. And I was just like, I understand you two relationship, but when she goes to school, right, or when it's time for her to learn how to relate to other people, it's going to be like, and I'm being dramatic, but this is down to the baby not even knowing, and I say baby because she's just like a young kid, but her not even knowing how to share, her not knowing how to take turns, her interrupting her mother when her mother's having a grown-up conversation, her being present when her mother is having a grown-up conversation. Okay, and so these are certain things that we have to pay attention to because it's not conducive to the well-being of the child. Okay, and so the mother and the daughter's relationship is okay between them, but it's not okay when it comes to school and having this child integrate into the society where she's going to have to learn how to communicate and take turns and just share things like that. So anyway, the mother was so like, I don't want to have her pick up the toys, and I was like, no, let her do it. Don't you know that baby girl sat there for 5 minutes because she just knew her mother was gonna put she just knew her mother. She's looked at her mom like, I don't care that Brittany is here, I don't care that Dr. G is here, you know how we do, right? Like the child is looking at the mother like, you already know what's up. Why you playing because Brittany here? And I was like, oh, poor mom. Oh, poor mom. Okay. So listen, my queens, because you're going to be with the kids too, like a lot of the time. Okay. When the man out working doing what he need to do, let's pay attention to that. All right. Do not allow the child to overindulge in things or control you. Okay, you are the parent for a reason, to guide, to lead that child, to nurture that child, to give that child wisdom and principles and values and a foundation. Okay, from birth. Okay. Also, do not be a parent that avoids conflict. Sometimes these parents are permissive because they don't want to upset the child, they don't want to argue, they don't want to be in conflict just in general. So let's pay attention to that. Okay. Number two, uninvolved. So this is one of like the statement, think about, I really don't care. Okay, this is a parent saying, I really don't care what you do, I don't care about your life, I'm uninvolved, I have no expectations for you, I have very few rules because I don't care where you go, who you talk to, when you come in, when you leave, what you need, right? This is an absent parent. This parent will be absent from your life. This parent will be very passive. So they're going to be passive to your emotions. They're going to be very neglectful. Okay, and so if you haven't noticed by now, some of these traits is abusive. Okay, so this parent is going to be uninterested, and they're going to have competing priorities with you. So this might be a parent who has borderline personality disorder, who has a narcissistic personality disorder, right? And so or just basically might be diagnosed with bipolar as well. It's a ton of things that we could speak about mentally that might be going on, right, psychologically. But then also, like, this parent might also have trauma themselves that they haven't healed from, and so they treat their child either how they've been treated, or they don't know how to treat their child. They don't know how to love that child. They don't know how to pour into that child because they've just never seen it themselves. They've never experienced it themselves. So they tend to be very uninvolved. Okay. And so again, this parent is neglectful. They provide little nurturance or little guidance. Like, you might notice that they haven't taught you anything about life. This is the parent that may have made sure that you look good on the outside, but they did not, again, fill your spirit or fill you mentally and emotionally. They didn't teach you like basic life skills or even survival skills, right? And if you had any social, emotional, or behavioral needs, they didn't know how to address that. Okay, so they kind of made you fend for yourself. That's the uninvolved parent. Okay, neglectful parent is what we would also title that person, all right, which is considered abuse. Okay, a child in this scenario comes to school with dirty clothes, ashy skin. It's not funny, but it's so sad. They're hungry, right? Like they're not eating. CPS is probably called once a week. It's these children really struggle in these type of households. And so I'm going to move on now before I get emotional, because I don't want to. I love my babies. I love working with children. Do I miss them? No, but no, just we're taking a break from play therapy right now, okay? Because Doctor has to focus on some other stuff right now that the Lord has her hands on. But yes, I miss my babies and I pray for them. So the third type of parent, okay, parenting style is called authoritative. And so an authoritative parent, they like to solve problems together with their child, okay? And this is what society hates these days, because they feel like children, you know, they get too much say so, or it's like, why am I talking to my child like that's my, not that it's your friend, because we know we used to hear like, I'm not your friend, I'm not your little friend, but basically this parent includes their child in decisions, right? Like, where do you want to sit in the restaurant? What do you want to eat? um you know. And so this authoritative parent, let's think of a statement, let's discuss this, okay? And so this parent sets clear rules and have clear expectations of their child, so the child knows like where we going, how long we gonna be there, what time they waking up for school. Like, everything is on a structure. It's very organized. There's no surprises for this child. And parents, you'll be surprised. I'm gonna tell you this in my experience, my expertise clinically, as well as just being around children. You think that children like a lot of freedom and they don't like to be disciplined or corrected. No, it is the total opposite. A child will be mentally, emotionally, and physically more stable and equipped to handle life if you put them on a schedule, if they have clear expectations, like, this is when we're stopping this is when we're starting this is when you go into school, this is when we gonna read, this is when we gonna pray, this is when we gonna eat. They need to know that mommy's coming home, they need to know that daddy's coming home, and they need to know that everything is going to work on a schedule. Holy Spirit love the kids too, okay? Because he ready to come out. Listen, baby, a child's nervous system, their emotional regulation gets like, basically they get thrown off when stuff is out of whack, when they don't know what to expect, when mommy not showing up, when daddy not showing up when he say he gonna show up, when they don't know when dinner gonna be ready, when they eating dinner at 10-11 o'clock at night, and then another day they're not eating dinner at all, right? Like, their mental, their spirit is just done, okay? So more structure, more discipline, more order is way better for the kids, okay, parents? All right. Also, with that, the authoritative parent, open communication and natural consequences. So this is a parent saying like, listen, baby, if you do this and you know it's something that we don't do in this household, okay, this is your correction, this is your discipline. And y'all get to choose. I know some people don't believe in beating, you know, take that up with the Lord, however, okay? However he tells you to parent your child, right? I hear so many stories from parents, and I really don't get in the midst with that. If you believe like spare the rod, spoil the child, or if you believe like you know, the child could just be punished in another way, then to each his own, right? As long as the Lord and you and your man, your wife, husband and wives agree, okay, you're good. What else? The authoritative parent. This parent is, again, clear standards, assertive, flexible, responsive, and warm, okay? If you think about it, the opposite of that, which we're going to get into soon, the authoritarian, they're not flexible. They're very controlling. They're very demanding. And so if the authoritative is like, let's discuss this, that means there's room for growth. There's room for change. There's room for a child to make mistakes and not be criticized, not be degraded, right? Not be put down for what they did, right? So that's just something to pay attention to, okay? I was in a house one time, and a child was told to do their chores, right? And so they're doing their chores. They basically clean in the kitchen. They had to take all of the stuff out of the cabinets and then restock the cabinets. Don't you know that the person, like another sibling, came behind them, took out all of the stuff that they did, put it back up, put it in a different cabinet. I believe they put it in a different cabinet. And the first child who was told to do it, felt really upset and went to tell the parent like, hey, you just told me to do this, and then so and so came and they came and undid everything that I did, and and then the parent was just like, oh, it's okay, like, don't worry about it, like, they did it better. You don't know, my loves, how invalidating that statement is. How little stuff like that, like when you don't let a person know that they're good enough, when you don't let a person know that what they did or what they said is good enough, even if it was just putting cans in the cabinet, right? Like, let that person put the cans in the cabinet how they see fit to put the cans in the cabinet. You don't just undo everything that they did. That leads to low self-esteem and insecurities, and a child feeling like they have to always work to prove and to please you, and to prove that they're good at something, and to be the best at everything. And perfection syndrome is real, okay? All because of the cabinet. All because, you know what I'm saying? Because people internalize things in different ways. So we just got to be mindful. We don't understand how, like, a little thing could invalidate somebody's whole existence, right? And then it shifts their, like, whole self-worth, self-esteem. And then Jesus got to come in and do a whole thing in their life, right? Listen, baby. Next one. Authoritarian. An authoritarian parent, let's see what they're about. They have high expectations, clear rules, but forceful. Do we like forceful? Does any of us, I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say. Do we like to feel like people are forcing us and pressuring us to do things? Or do we just like to kind of have some semi free will to do it at our own pace, or in a timely manner when we see fit, right? And so this person, the authoritarian parent, is very rigid in their approach. They believe in punishment, right? This is like harsh corporal punishment sometimes. And they have limited warmth. So they're not going to be nurturing at all to you. It's just like demand. Oh, you did well? Cool. This is the child that struggles with, like, Mom, I got an A. And the dad and the mom is looking like, but why you didn't get an A plus? Are you catching? Are you catching it? I need to wind on that. Do not be like that. My parents, don't be like that. That child just told you that they got an A. They're excited about their A. That child just told you that they scored the first 3 in the basketball game. That child just told you that they scored a touchdown. You better be excited for them, okay? Listen, what I learned about working with children, for one, they talk your head off. That's for one, okay? You're going to be talking all day, okay? But for two, you have to be over dramatic. You got to be overly excited. You have to be very encouraging, because this is what they need, all right? In order to build a confident, secure self-esteem, okay? All right. Authoritarian, they, again, very strict. They set a lot of rules. It's one-way communication, meaning their way is the only way and there's no other way. So don't even consider another way, or it's going to be the highway. You're going to find your stuff out in a black plastic bag in the hallway. Okay, listen to me. Oh, that was just Brooklyn? That was just a Brooklyn? Okay. Maybe that wasn't your life. Okay. Anyway, they have little consideration for a child's emotional, social, and behavioral needs. Okay. So this authoritarian, look, got me itching my weave. Okay. My hair, my braids, whatever this is. Listen, baby, this authoritarian parent do not play. Okay. We just talking tonight. I hope this is not triggering nobody. I try to say, like, intense topics. I try to ease y'all into it, because I don't want this to trigger nobody trauma wounds, okay? I don't want you to be calling your parents like, why did you do this to me? Don't do that, okay? Talk to Jesus about it. Get in your Bible. Read a scripture on it. Heal. Be delivered. I'll come and deliver you, okay?